Everyone being here, thank you. First of all, just wanted very proud of our football team for the win this past Saturday on homecoming against an excellent Texas Tech team. A lot of credit to Texas Tech. I thought Jet Duffy was spectacular as their quarterback, leading them back in the fourth quarter. I thought Jordan Brooks, their linebacker, was the best player that I've seen in quite some time on defense. I thought he was a really a special player all over the field. Proud of our guys. Obviously have a lot of improvement to do, but in the end they found a way. And lost Clay, lost one of our great leaders and players, and Terrell stepped up and the team stepped up. And with a minute 19 and 99 yards to go, they found a way to get it done. So proud of them. We'll have to try to improve our starts on offense. We're starting way too slow on offense, and then defensively, our finishes on defense. We've got to improve in those two areas. We have to start punting and kicking the ball just a little bit better, and so that there's a lot of work to be done, and we're working at it right now. With that, we're excited to get ready for Oklahoma State, an excellent team, an outstanding team, great players, and in my opinion, and I truly mean this, year after year, I'm just amazed by the level of coaching from Coach Gundy. I think he's the best, and he wins with different players. He wins with different ways, different offenses, different schemes. But he does it tried and true year in and year out. And so obviously they're coming off a bye week. We're going to their homecoming. There's a lot of things that are stacked against us, and we'll do our best just to try to play football and have fun doing it. So we have a lot of preparation to do this week to get ready for Hubbard and Wallace and Sanders and all the great players that they have. But we'll focus on us and try to get ourselves a little bit better.
Matt, how do you replace Clay's leadership? You mentioned how great it is.
Well, I think the great thing about Clay will still be able to lead. He'll still be able to coach. He'll still be around. All he keeps saying to me is, "I just don't want to be a distraction." I mean, what kind of distraction can he be? But we got a lot of leaders, especially in the defensive side of the ball. Jay Will and Chris Miller and Henry Black and Locke and Lynch and Brave. And there's a bunch of guys out there that do it at a high level. And Terrell's an excellent player, so Terrell will go out and play. I mean, he started first 3 or 4 games this year anyway, so he'll go out and play at a high level. The biggest thing is that Clay was going sideline to sideline and making up for a lot of other guys' mistakes. And so, as I told the team, Terrell's not going to go out there and try to replace Clay. Everyone replace Clay. Everyone do your job a little bit better. Like, if you're supposed to be in the B gap, be in the B gap. Don't be in the C and say, "Oh, Clay will make me," right? Be in the B so that Terrell can just go out there and play. And so, I think it'll take all of us, take everybody to be able to go out there. And, Matt Jones is a freshman linebacker who's an outstanding player. He's played in 3 games so far this year, so he'll be ready. We have a lot of good players. To me, it's the experience and the wisdom and all things that Clay's seen that are hard to replace, so we'll just kind of count on everyone to do it.
Given where this team is depth-wise now, obviously with Connor's injury on the offensive side, Clay's injury on the defensive side, how much better are y'all able to kind of absorb some of those and really kind of keep going?
Yeah, I think if you look across really, college football and the Big 12, most people lose, players, and you have to have other guys prepared to step up. It's why we practice the way we practice and try to prepare young guys for their moments. And you hope that other guys, as I said, they just kind of pick it up around them, right? So, Casey has to go play left tackle. He's been trained as a right tackle. Connor gets hurt. He goes out there. Maybe Hasty has to, chip the end one more time. Maybe Charlie has to slide a little bit more. But what you need other guys to pick up the slack. But I do think we have enough young players that, if we have to go down, there's going to be a day this year I put Yusuf Terry out at wide receiver. And he's in the middle of a redshirt year, and everyone's going to say, "Wow, where's he been?" I mean, we got some special young guys that are just kind of waiting their turn, and they've played maybe in a game or two. So I think we have enough guys to get it done. I think the biggest thing is just, everybody, when your opportunity comes, be ready for it. And when we need your best, produce your best. And so I think it's a mindset, and I think it's from the coaches, from me to the coaches to everybody. We all have to be elite at what we do.
What have you learned about your team, the way it's overcome some adversity, the Iowa State game, the game the other day, and just they haven't let those moments overtake them?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about our guys is they stay really calm in the face of adversity. I think we've made things sometimes harder than they have to be, and we could maybe improve some of those things. But I think at the end of the day, I think our guys truly kind of feel alive when it's competition, right? Like when it's the end of the game and they have to go they have to go score, they go score. Even like defensively, like it was kind of, they went 90 yards on us to score a touchdown. Then they got the ball in overtime, and it's 3rd and 10, and the kid scrambles, it gets to 4th and 2, and they get it, and they score. and we're tired. I mean, we are tired. And they come to me, and the right play is to put the defense right back out there. But I'm looking at them. I'm like, man, should I go offense first, which is not what you're supposed to do. But I'm looking at how tired they are. And I just always say you have to trust the football. So I put the defense out there, and they get the stop, right? They hold them to a field goal. And so I just think that when they're in big moments, those guys, they kind of relax and play. And I think that's really, if you want to be in these games, you have to have that. And not everyone has it. Lots of guys like to play when they're front runners. These guys like to play when it's a crucial moment.
Defensively, you guys have been forcing a little more turnovers. You got 2 big interceptions in the game the other day. I know that's something you put Coach McGuire on.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that sort of ball hawking kind of unit you guys want to be start to emerge?
Yes, start to. It's still got a lot further to go, but I think it's coming. I think we're getting our hands on more balls in passing lanes. We recovered a fumble the other day. I just think there's so much more that we could be at. I think we could be striking and not more balls out, but we're way ahead of where we were. I think we had 9 last year, and we had 3 on Saturday, so, we're a lot better. So, that to me is something like you can coach, but you kind of just need guys that go out and do it, that play fast and physically, knock the ball out, pick the ball off, and so I think our guys are starting to get that. So we have to continue it. We have to continue. If we're going to be, we're kind of a little more of a zone defense this year, and we'll give up some throws here and there, but we have to tip some balls and make some picks, and continue to get to the quarterback. And so I'm pleased with the evolution in those areas.
What kind of challenges do you see for Oklahoma State defense?
Well, Oklahoma State's defense, number one, schematically, they're a 4-down team that also plays 3 down, so that they without changing people. So on any play, the defense could be, completely different. And so, from an identification perspective, and hey, what are they doing? They present some challenges that way, and they have 2 great corners. They'll play man. Texas Tech came out and kind of just said, hey, we're going to try to take away Denzel and those guys with press, and they did it for most of the day. And so, these guys will blitz us. They'll challenge us. They'll play man against us. They'll give us different looks. And, so I think all of those things are challenges for us. And they have good players, and they run to the ball, and they're physical. So for us, I think we just have to keep it simple on our end and just know that they're going to do a lot of things. Let our players go play and not overthink it as coaches.
Matt, what do you see from Chuba Hubbard?
Just, elite in every sense of the word. What's kind of cool about Oklahoma State is they have like an NFL-style run game. Like they're not like a spread offense. They are a pro-style offense in terms of the things they do run game-wise. And so, he runs the stretch outside zone, and he runs it as well as anybody in college football. And he'll put his foot in the ground and get vertical. He can outrun you if you're not careful. They'll do it in tempo, and they outrun people, and he's getting 12 yards a carry. And then he has the ability to run insert plays. He's physical. He's got breakaway speed. So I think he's a dominant player, not a good player, a dominant player. The numbers support it, but sometimes guys have gaudy numbers and it doesn't show. He's got the tape too. Like you watch the tape, you say, "Wow." So I think he's really special. And part of it is that Sanders is such a dual threat as well. They can RPO off of it, they can run the quarterback off of it. So you have to be whole in all these different areas because they have a great wideout, they have a great tailback, and they have a great quarterback, and they have a great scheme. So you have to be whole kind of across the board.
Matt, you seem like you've seen these quarterbacks all year long, but does it help that you have seen a lot of these dual threat guys? Does it help you prepare for Sanders?
Yeah, the league is full of them right now, and so guys who can run, and so whether you spy them or pressure them or your zone read game, you have to be elite in all the things you do. But you're not going to see a guy in college football with more arm talent than what we're going to see this Saturday. He's sensational. The ball jumps off his hand. And I think he's going to be a really, really special player. And so, we've seen some really good quarterbacks, and he's no exception.
Matt, have you ever had a letter from the Big 12 to confirm a missed call? And have you wanted to put a statement out on the internet because of what you received?
I don't, I'm probably in the game, probably pretty boisterous with the officials. I argue and fight and scratch and claw for our team. But I don't say things about it. There's a process in place. You're not supposed to say anything about it. And, I have a lot of respect for the officials. That's a hard job. You have to make things you have to make things in a bang way in today's digital age where you can literally zoom in on like like this, and I mean, you can zoom in on anything, and be second guessed. And so, yeah, I would never. I mean, there's been plays that have happened that I felt like over the last couple of years cost us a chance to win a game, but I go through that process. But I would never disrespect the process or the officials by saying something. No, I say what I have to say on the field, and a lot of times I look back and say, like, I thought the game was over, like we won, like I was celebrating the intentional grounding, right? I thought we won the game, and all of a sudden they say no, and you look at me, I am acting the fool. That's terrible. I mean, the ball hit the cheerleader. I'm saying that's terrible. And a guy on our sideline, great guy, he goes, Coach, there was a guy in the area, and at the end of the day, I said to myself, you know what, Matt, like. The officials were trying to, I don't know if that's the right call or not, and that's not my job, but the officials were trying to let the game be settled on the field. So am I disappointed that the game's not over? Yeah, I thought the game was over. I'm like, thank goodness. We're going to get the ball back. They're going to punt it to us. We'll run. The game's over. But they also were going to let us settle it on the field, right? And so they went 90 yards on us. That's on me. I'm not going to sit there after they go 90 yards at me and complain about that call. We had the ball, second and 17 on our own 1 yard line. Like, that was of our own doing, so we went back. So, I respect the officials and the process too much, and the transparency. Like when you send something in, if they're wrong, they'll say, hey, we missed this. But there was 180 plays on Saturday, and there's a lot of things that I could say, hey, I don't like this and I don't like that. So I'm not going to get caught up on one that went for us or one that went against us. It's just, you know what I'm mad about? I'm mad about us throwing 3 picks. I'm mad about us giving up a 30-yard run. I'm mad about the football. And I think that's my job as a coach, is not to ever give our kids excuses and blame anything else. My job as a coach is to tell our guys, you had a chance to win the football game. If we would have lost that game, I wouldn't be talking about that safety, intentional grounding. I'd be talking about 3 picks, not protecting the quarterback, all those things. So that's how we're going to do it here.
Matt, what kind of a asset has Sam Tecklenburg been in this program?
No, he's been awesome. I mean, he's a winner in every sense of the word. He's a leader. He's the best of the best. He's as classy as they come. I'll say this. We ran a play early in the game, and he missed the linebacker. And then he did it again, he missed the linebacker. And I, on the sideline, went after him. And I thought he was going to fight me. He was like, I got it. And, I kind of was walking away like, you better. And that's the play we won the game on. And the same exact play. And he snapped off on the backer. And we ran to score. And he came running. And he was like, I got that backer that time. Like, he's just fun to coach. And, the coaching is supposed to be a symbiotic relationship. Like I want to coach the guys that want to be coached, and there's like this give and take. And so Tech is one of those guys who makes you love coaching because you pour so much into him, and then he just wants more and more. Then he demands the best out of you. Like, he asked me a question. He's going to ask me a real question. I can't give him some fake answer. I can give a fake answer to maybe the young guy, but I better know the answer. And so he makes me prepare better. He makes Bell prepare better. He's when he's gone someday, he'll be a great coach if he ever wanted to be, and I think he'll have a future in the NFL as well.
How about just his versatility, all the positions he's played?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked. If we get an injury, he's going to go play tackle for us. And we started this thing where we throw one pass to every skill guy before the game just to kind of make sure we're all locked in, and we finish it by throwing him, because he's an old tight end. We finish by throwing him a stick route. He can still catch the football. I mean, he's just versatile in all those areas, and he's probably best suited at center. But to get the best 5 out there, he goes over and plays guard, and he's playing at a really high level, can play tackle, can play tight end. He's an extremely versatile player.
Talk about the talent of Spencer Sanders, but can you take anything from how Texas Tech was able to affect him the last time out and really get after him?
I see you rocking the Steelers gear too, by the way, after yesterday. 2 weeks in a row, I think, right? Well, I think, like I said, I think Sanders is like, he's going to be one of the next ones, like, that you're like, is up for every award. I think he's unbelievably special. And like I said, he throws like 18-yard digs, sidearm sometimes. I mean, the things he can do are just really special. He's young, he's playing, he's learning, and he's got, Coach Gundy who's, training him and their staff. So I think his ability to run, his ability to improvise, his ability to make all the throws, it reminds me of Mahomes. I mean, he's got all those kind of ability levels. And so he's a guy that can hurt you any which way. So you have to account for him on every play. And that's not every quarterback you can say that about. Some guys you have to account for the quarterback in about 30 plays. This guy you have to account for him on every play because he'll do it in many different ways.
Coach, you mentioned Tylan Wallace earlier. What's the biggest challenge he presents to your secondary?
Well, he is as good a 50-50 deep ball guy as there is. His ability to go up and track the ball and get the ball is beyond elite. But he also, let me say this, and I've never really met him, he plays as hard as any receiver you'll see. I mean, they changed the crackback rule, and really that kind of hurt him because he's as physical a guy as there is. He decleated for Kedrick last year. He had one this year against Texas. I mean, he is a physical guy. And I love receivers when he knows he's not getting the ball, man. He runs posts and things and clears guys out. He plays really, really hard. So I think he's really physical, really hard, but he's a game breaker. He can go get the deep ball. So anytime you give them a one-on-one, you have a quarterback who can throw the ball 60, 70 yards, and you have a guy who can go get it, you have to account for, hey, they're gonna take a shot with him.
Matt, Mr. Dave asked you about Stillwater. I mean, you like that kind of atmosphere going into that sort of thing. I mean, I know you want to be able to make your calls and stuff, but I mean, you guys dig that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd much prefer playing at home. Let me say that. But well, I mean, this is why you come to Baylor, right? To play in these kind of games and play in front of these crowds. And we went there 2 years ago, and they're smacking the paddles, and it's like they're like the sidelines this big, and it's just it's what college football is all about. So I mean, I wake up this week and I say to myself, not many people probably think we'll win, right? I mean, like what a great opportunity for our guys, right? To go out there and go play. There's no pressure on them. The only pressure is in our room. Like we have a standard that we want to play at. We want to play at a certain level, and so go out there and play. And people think, hey, we won't be able to handle the noise. We won't be able to handle the crowd. And hey, they've had 2 weeks off. And to me, I look at it like this: they're a great team with great players. And we are, we're coming in there, and we didn't play as well as we wanted to on Saturday. We've got to go get ourselves a little bit better, but it'll come down to blocking and tackling and covering and catching and all those things. But the pageantry and everything else that's around it, I love it. I think it's an amazing place. It's a hard place to play. It's a hard place to win. And so, you know what? But we like challenges, and we're going to do our best. And I can't worry about them. I can only worry about us.
You talked about the home crowd last Saturday, a little bit after the game. Looking back on it now, how big was that down the stretch?
I thought it was huge. I thought the crowd was awesome. I thought they did an amazing job staying there. I thought, I thought they were loud. I thought like even like our people here, like some of the stuff they did, like the in-game promotions and the music and all that stuff. Like I thought it was as big time as it could be. And that was a great day. It was a fun experience. I just thought even at the end, we're sitting there praying and they're playing, jump around, right? And, we finished the prayer and we got up. I said, go jump around, go have fun, enjoy it, because it was a joyous moment to win that game that way and that, in that atmosphere. It was great to celebrate kind of together, right? We celebrated with the students and with the fans. And so I thought it was a great, great moment. And now we have to flip and go play on the road where it's really just us. And that'll be fun too.
Matt, with Isaac, he's had some short yardage situations, but do you see technique issues with him, or?
Yeah, Isaac's got to just punt his way through it. I mean, he's his drop. When he has a good drop, he crushes the ball. When he doesn't have a good drop, he hasn't. And so it's like anything else. If they say, hey, it's your drop, then what do you start thinking about? Your drop. And then you go out there to think, you're thinking about your drop. And so he just has to punt his way through it. I mean, every great player I know has gone through a period of self-doubt, what I'm saying? Unfortunately, when you're the punter, everyone sees it. It's like, when you're a receiver, you have a drop. It's kind of like, all right, come back. And then he doesn't have many chances to redeem himself. But, he did put one out of bounds at the 10-yard line. He did do some good things in that regard. So I'm sure before no time here soon, he'll be back.
At 6-0 halfway through the season, what gives you confidence this team can sustain this kind of success? I mean, I'm not talking about winning every game, but just that you can sustain what you've been able to build so far.
I think that, at the end of the day, I think our guys have done a really nice job of every week coming in there and being honest about what just happened and not being satisfied. Like, there wasn't like a jubilant meetings on Sunday watching the tape and all that. There was a lot of guys saying, man, we can't keep giving up leads. We can't start this slow. So I think when you have that honest group, then you have a chance. And so we're going to face some really good teams. And so, I approached each of these past 6 games as like, hey, just worry about this week and focus on this week. We've done it some weeks better than others. This week, thankfully we have a bye week next week, so there's nothing and we know what we're in for. Like, this is going to be a battle. And so, I hope our guys have the energy and stamina and mentality to do it one more week, And so they came out last night. They looked energized. I know we know that we miss Clay, but we're going to go out there and give it our best shot. So I just think that their maturity and, I mean, they remember going there 2 years ago. It was 59-16, and they threw a ball in the end zone that was almost caught. That was going to be 66-16. I mean, we know there's not a lot of young guys going on this trip. This is a lot of sophomores, juniors, and seniors, redshirt sophomores, juniors, seniors, guys who've been there before. So I think our guys understand how hard this is going to be and how much of a battle. But it's also a challenge, and we like challenges. So I like our maturity, to answer your question.
Jermichael Hasty has broken out the last few weeks and been a game changer. Is it just him getting healthy, or has something else changed?
I just think Jermichael's figured out who he is as a back. He's not a dancer. He's not a he's a get the ball, one cut, burst and go, and that's producing for us, right? Even like on little plays, like we threw him a 5-yard route in the 2-minute drive, or maybe it was I can't remember which drive it was. The drive before, and the guy was there, and he just kind of tried to run the guy over and get to the sticks. Jermichael is a physical, tough, hard-nosed downhill runner, and he's running that way. And I think the combination of him and Lovett and Ebner when he's healthy, neither one of them are taking on too many hits, so they're able to stay healthy. But I just think he's doing a great job at that. And I think you watch Hasty, he's running down on kickoff. Lovett's running down on kickoff. They're playing. I mean, they're doing playing a lot of football for us.